Welcome to episode 41 of the MMG podcast. It is Chris with Go Cubs once again. How you doing, my friend?
What do we want?
Uh, uh,
When do we want it?
No, this is going too fast. uh, Lots of chocolate.
I wanted to see what would happen if I put you on the
World
spot.
peace.
There
World
you go.
peace. Lots of love all around, please. No more racism. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay. That became a running list after a few minutes of thinking.
Yep.
Welcome back to the MMG podcast, everyone. I hope you guys had a fun football weekend, and hope your week is going well. This is our Thursday. We're doing this on Thursday, and for at least for the Thursday upload, at least that we're going to do this for, and it's up early because I have a Let's Play going on. That's going to be at 3:00. So,
Excellent.
we're going to try to keep those separated for now. But yeah, we got a fun show today. We're gonna do just a quick recap of week 10, and then we're gonna dive into our mid-season predictions. We're gonna talk playoffs. We're gonna talk awards. We're gonna talk boldness, and then we'll do our picks, and then I think that will wrap things up quite nicely. It is the midpoint of the season. It's a little bit past the midpoint now. But the fact that it's November football, with college football really coming close to the end here, and NFL football really starting to pick up with some big time matchups this week, and then as we go on, a lot more playoff potential clinching scenarios will be coming up. It's gonna be fun. I'm very excited about it. But let's start with a potential battle for the number one seed in the NFC. Our game of the week goes to the Rams and the Saints. And this almost looked like it was going to be a blowout in favor of the Saints. The Saints went up big against the Rams. I believe the score was 35-14 at halftime. And it felt like the Saints could have kept going, but the Rams came roaring back and scored 21 unanswered points to go up 35-35, and after a field goal kick to go up to 38, and then the Rams tried a few more times to get back to the end zone, but unfortunately they were cut off short, and then Michael Thomas scored the winning touchdown that came with a self-run celebration, which had a lot to do, which was reference to the cell phone celebration by Joe Horn I guess a decade or so ago. It is a big ol' victory for the Saints because they take down the lone undefeated team in the NFL. And right now they don't have the top spot in the NFC right now because they're still a half game behind the Rams, because Rams haven't had their bye, Saints have.
Correct.
But we'll see how this plays out for them. But what was your takeaway from this game?
My takeaway from this game was that this is going to be either of these teams could go all the way.
I agree with that.
The level of talent that these teams have on especially the offensive side of the ball is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley is amazing. Alvin Kamara is amazing. Michael Thomas is amazing. Like,
absolutely.
I think that rightfully so, people looked at this as the precursor to the NFC Championship game, because that could very well be what it is.
I would be disappointed if it wasn't, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that. I think I think I looked at some I'm always interested with these like power ranking websites. You know, NFL has their own, ESPN. I personally follow the Associated Press. They have like their own polling system, like they do with college football. But
Yeah.
I look, and the Rams are number 4, and I'm like, are you really gonna knock this team down that far because they lost to probably an equally great team? Like it's weird. I don't know.
Well, if you look at like 2 and 3 are probably the Chiefs and the
Yeah,
Patriots,
it was
right?
it was Patriots second, Chiefs third.
Yeah, right. Which, like, I don't know. I think looking at that, it may make sense.
I guess so.
But
I just feel
yeah,
like with the Rams, they were undefeated for so long, and they weren't beating cupcakes. They were beating relatively good teams. You know,
uh,
so I to the idea that they would just be knocked below. I'm you know, I always pick in favor of the Patriots in any game because it's the Patriots, but I haven't necessarily been as impressed with the Patriots as I have been the Rams this year. So I just
right.
don't see them being like I don't get why the Patriots are above Chiefs outside of the fact that they beat the Chiefs. You know, which I guess that it makes sense. I get that the ranking there makes sense. I just am like I've liked what I've seen from the Chiefs more than I've seen out of the Patriots. So I don't know. Regardless, these two teams, they've proven that they're going to be the class of the NFC. I think that they're going to have at least one or two other NFC teams that could challenge them. I think the Panthers and Eagles specifically are going to be. They're going to start making a run. Maybe the Bears as well. I mean, and the Vikings. The NFC is deep, I think, is what the storyline is. Um, but you know, these two teams right now, they're going to be the ones to beat, and it was a good game. I liked it. Even though it ended up being 10-point score game. It was a very fun game. It's exactly the kind of game I think the NFL wants right now. Where you have like these juggernauts going up against each other. That's high scoring. Yeah, it was good. It fit the billing. And speaking
Yep.
of Bill,
Huh.
we're gonna talk about the Buffalo Bills now in
How
a
how many times are we going to talk about the Bills in these
well, okay.
segments?
So I've been keeping track of the blowout of the week. I keep a list. We've talked
Yeah.
about them 3 times now in the blowout of the weeks, but
Okay.
one of them was a
So
win over the Vikings.
yes.
So I mean, it's kind of deceiving in that sense. The
Yeah.
first one was the Ravens in week 1, but now they're back as the loser of a blowout in week number 9. I thought we were gonna end up talking Niners Raiders here. I was disappointed once the Bears beat that differential.
I'm sorry that the Bears are just so
Yeah,
good.
they're way too good for all of us, for the Bills, for sure.
And Chris, we did that. I know the Bills suck. I know they're really bad. But we did that to them without Khalil
Without
Mack.
Khalil Mack, was Allen Robinson playing?
No
So there
Robinson
you
either.
go. I mean, I think it was just clearly, as we've just proven now. I think that was the right move to rest them, and it showed. The Bills have the talent. I think the Bears are going to be in the mix till the end of the season this year, and I think that's the first time you could really say that about the Bears. You know, I hope to see them make the playoffs. We don't. It's a very difficult NFC North, and it's just a very difficult conference. So we'll see how it plays out. But they prove themselves. Like once again, the Bills turned over so many goddamn balls, and once again, that's partly because Nathan Peterman was starting. Poor guy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why you would do that to a quarterback.
Well,
It's so
interesting.
cruel. Starting them in a game.
Well, you know what? Interesting subtext to the post game of this. EJ Manuel, who was a failed high draft pick for the Bills, he went to Snapchat, or I guess it was Instagram or Snapchat, whatever it was, and it was just a text. It was a black background and text that basically was like, the Bills just keep on throwing this kid out there, and he just keeps on messing up. Well, when I was there, they never gave me a lot of chances, and I wonder why. I don't know. I forget what exactly he was implying there.
Yeah.
But he was just it was very very much a the Bills are not looking good with starting Nathan Peterman right now. They have a backup in Matt Barkley, which and I'm sure you remember Matt Barkley from with the Bears
Oh yeah.
and the Niners and a few other teams.
Yep.
But they just signed him off the street. You know, I mean, at this point, your season's going nowhere. I don't see why you don't just start him, because otherwise, it's just going to be a disaster over and over again with Nathan Peterman.
Matt Barkley will be better than Nathan Peterman.
I mean, I feel like Nathan. I feel like I've not seen Matt Barkley play in so long, so I cannot say for certain about anything when it comes to him.
You see how often Nathan Peterman turns over the garden ball.
Well, that's the only evidence that I have at this point. Regardless, it's probably a better play right now to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this was a good past few weeks for the Bears. They get back on track. But again, they beat the Jets and the Bills. Let's not get too excited. Now it comes a tough stretch. Yes, the Lions have not done well the last few weeks, but they are still division rivalries, and those can always go topsy-turvy. You guys got that 2 of the next 3 weeks, and the sandwich in between is a Sunday night football game that got flexed, that will have the Vikings coming to Chicago. Is that the first Sunday night football game in Chicago in forever?
Probably. I mean, the last Sunday night football game I think that I remember having was last year against Dallas, but I think that was probably
in Dallas, yeah.
2 years ago.
But that's gonna be I mean, yeah, well, and they've just appeared on Sunday Night Football this year. Yeah. But yeah, that was in Green Bay. But so this is definitely when we are gonna get to know the Chicago Bears team more and see how good this team is. Because if they can win, I think 2 of the next 3 games at least, that's gonna be good for them down the stretch. Because then they still have to face the Niners and the Giants, and that those should be cupcakes for them. But anywho, let's move on to our team chaos of the week. And the Atlanta Falcons are not out of it, my friends. They are now at 500, and they just pummeled the Redskins, who are falling apart at the seams.
The master of chaos returns.
God damn it. Well, that's also the underlying storyline of this. Go Cubs Team Chaos, the Falcons, and he is back in his winning ways on the Team Chaos after losing 3 straight. He is now 5-4 on the year. Very good job, Go Cubs.
Yes. I love getting Team Chaos.
No, Team Chaos is fun. I like it. Obviously. But the good job with this pick, because it was really, the odds were stacked against the Falcons, I think, when you have the Redskins just getting a really key defensive piece, when the Redskins have been so dominant at home. Regardless of who they play against. I mean, they beat the Panthers at home. But the Falcons, they're starting to get good, and now Deion Jones might return this week, and they just signed Bruce Irvin from the Raiders, who was inexplicably released by the Raiders. Inexplicably meaning
Well, you can't say it explicably when you're talking.
Yeah, I mean it's really well, they're just tanking is really what they're doing. But this team is getting better. I think that with Julio Jones scoring his first fucking touchdown since I think 2016, or at least it feels like it. It feels like it. You know, the fact that he scored his first touchdown in a long time in spectacular fashion as well. It was pretty much the game-winning touchdown. I think this is the start of maybe a build back up for the Falcons. I think it's going to be a tough road still. They still have some tough opponents. They still have to face in division rivals still.
Yes.
But this could be very interesting. A very interesting NFC South race that continues to unfold here. I don't see them winning division. Wild card. We'll see. Washington, in the meantime, offensive line falling apart. Alex Smith not playing well. They just lost their one of their top wide receivers for the year as well. Their offensive line, 2 offensive linemen are out for the year, and a third one has not been playing, Trent Williams, because of injury. It's a disaster.
It's bad.
Adrian Peterson's the only highlight of the offense right now, and you can't really expect him to carry this team too much. The defense didn't play too well in this game either, but I think that I feel like a lot of defenses are not playing well this year, when the good ones as well. But this was just not a great game for them. But I still have faith in that unit. The offense is just not there, and so I think the what seemed like the Redskins might win the NFC East, I think that's kind of fading at this point.
Yeah, just unfortunate situation for them, and they just went out and spent money on this really nice quarterback with a funny name. So
yes, it's weird. It's but that's what happens. Like life comes at you fast in this weird ass sport. It's like, oh, we're totally gonna contend, gets almost blown out by the Falcons. And it's like, oh, well, maybe not.
Oh, right.
Offense.
We should change our name.
Gotta just throw that in there.
Seriously, what if they got just so pummeled that they were just like, all right, guess we'll just fucking change our name.
I think that
0-16, call it. If they go 0-16 ever, change their name.
I mean, they have to be like, we had to change this bad luck somehow. Yeah. Well, Dan Schneider is a freaking stubborn cookie. I don't know if he'll fucking change his mind, but hopefully we'll see. Next, let's do our most surprising and disappointing teams for the week. Do you want to start, or I can start if you want?
I'll start. My most surprising team was the Tennessee Titans. I knew that they were going to win this game because I predicted it correctly. I'm also changing my most disappointing team, by the way, because I need to talk about something.
You're just digging the dagger into me, man.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. No, it's totally fine. Whatever.
Okay, yeah. But the Titans, they did what we kind of were expecting them to. Dion Lewis is starting to creep up and kind of become the featured back over Derrick Henry, which sucks for Henry, but Dion Lewis has just been playing better. He's a little more elusive and a smaller person than Henry. And that's working out for them.
Yeah.
So hopefully Tennessee can keep this momentum going. I don't know what they'll be able to do in this playoff field that is deeper than it was last year, but I'm excited to see what they are able to do.
I think the biggest takeaway from that game was how good the defense played. I mean, their secondary. I mean, Malcolm Butler is having an awful season, but their front seven is kicking ass, and Jarrell Casey continues to be one of the least talked about great players of the NFL. And he was the whole team was just doing so well last night, or 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago when this goes up. But it was just a really, I really think that this was a great game for them. And it proved to me that this is the Texans, that it proved to me who will end up maybe being like the second runner in this AFC South if, let's say, the Colts their momentum stops. Because I'm high on the Colts right now, but I am going to be hesitant about them a little bit because they still have the losing record. They started the season so in a rough spot with injuries and stuff. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be amazing to see how this AFC South goes, because if it goes from the Jaguars and Titans to from basically starting to lead the division in the beginning of the year, to the it flips and it goes to Texans Colts. Very similar to, I feel like, how it was transitioning from Texans Colts to Jaguars Titans over the last few years.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's gonna flip back. It's interesting, and but I appreciate the fact that the Texans or Colts are now like more fun teams to root for than in the past. I feel like Andrew Luck never had any talent around him, and the Texans always had bad quarterbacks, and now they have Deshaun Watson and a good Colts team. It's nice, and he's a deep Colts team. I don't want to say good yet. They're deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. In terms of the Titans, though, I think that they're going to be in the mix, and they proved it. My most surprising team was San Francisco 49ers, and it was not so much that they won this game, but that they destroyed this game, led by a quarterback that we had no idea who he was until Thursday night. Nick Mullens.
He got verified on Twitter
during the game
in the middle of the
yeah. He's a quarterback, I think, out of Southern Mississippi, and he's broke a bunch of Brett Favre's records in college, and Brett Favre also gave him a phone call on the post game show during that after the game, but really awesome story, because you just expect this sometimes with the NFL. Everyone goes into a game and be like, oh, look at this, it's a nobody going up against this team, oh, he's gonna get blown out. And it's like, no, this is not how the NFL works. They turn every single storyline upside down, and lo and behold, Nick Mullens has a fantastic game. In fact, was throwing a perfect game for a while too. Like, it was an excellent performance out of him, and good for the Niners that they're gonna stick with him moving forward. To get some wins in there. It was an exciting game. Like, when you have a good quarterback, or at least when you have a good quarterback showing, you want to kind of keep that going and hope that it doesn't fall apart. So why not just give it?
And then it's not a one-time thing against the worst team.
Right? Yeah. It very well could be, and it very well could be just like, whatever. It's not going to go any much further than that. But I mean, I don't know. Their next game is against the Giants. It's not like this is going to be like a I don't see him completely falling apart against that team. Maybe against like one of the better teams that they have to face down the stretch, but I don't know. I'm excited for more Nick Mullens. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. We'll see how that goes. Most disappointing team.
I was initially gonna go on the other side of the ball for your team, but I kind of already dug into them, and I'll just say Raiders suck. Instead, for my most disappointing team, I'm going to go to the other side of the ball for my most surprising. I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Yeah, so I really wanted to touch on this, but go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I like it.
So you could probably add some more things to this, but the Cowboys are such a bad team. You trade a first-round pick for Amari fucking Cooper, and then he gets 58 yards and a touchdown, which is like, okay, I guess. Like, he's what you would expect, like, an average wide receiver to do. He didn't do what you paid for him to do.
Okay.
There's more. So most of the time, when head coaches have the performance of the past couple of years that a man named Jason Garrett has had, people might consider, like, hey, maybe it's time for a new fucking coach. But that's not going to happen, because Jerry Jones owns the franchise and just does whatever the fuck he wants without repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Dak Prescott, who is bad at football. He is not doing what he was doing in 2016. I don't know what it is, but he is not a good starting quarterback. But Jerry Jones wants to give him an extension and believes in him.
Mm-hmm.
All the problems, as you see, are coming from Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Cowboys and Cowboys fans, you're going to continue to have problems. The Cowboys are, right now, surprisingly, could be, geez, I don't know. They're probably the second most doomed franchise right now behind the Browns. Because other teams that are doing bad at least kind of like have a reason. Like, look at the Cardinals. First year head coach, had a bad OC that they got rid of, rookie quarterback, pretty new turnaround overall for their team. They're doing bad because of that. Giants, shitty O-line.
Shitty quarterback.
49ers, Jimmy Handsome got injured. Like the certain teams that like aren't performing very well have a reason outside of the management of the team. Right. And the Browns hopefully are going to turn that, for their sake, I hope, will turn that around like this year, now that Dorsey gets to kind of do what he wants with it, with stuff. The Cowboys are going to have Jerry Jones, who's going to steer in the direction that he thinks is right, but clearly has not been right for the past 2 years.
Has not been right for the 90s.
For a very long time. At least they were the number 1 seed 2 years ago.
No, yes. No, that's fair. But it's... Here's my... Are you good in terms of the... Yeah.
Yeah, I said all I needed to.
There's some points I agree with you on. I think that this team is going to be held back very much by Jerry Jones, because I think that he believes way too much in Jason Garrett and what he's done, because he's been around in the organization for so long, that he just doesn't want to give up on him. And we've seen. I feel like the waters kind of started to shift after this game, because the way that Jerry Jones kind of was approached the changing coach question, he kind of was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make a coaching change in season, or anything." And I was like, well, maybe this might be the end of Jason Garrett. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think he has way too much faith in his own judgment at times, that it's gonna hold him back. I mean, Dak Prescott had the great year in 2016, but has not really shown it in recent times. And part of me, though, believes that it's not so much the players on the field, because I think that they have a good team generally. They have a good running back. They have a good offensive line.
Yes.
They have, like, Amari Cooper. I'm judging the Cowboys for the fact that they used the first-round pick on him, and I'm judging the fact that he's been not great the last 2 years, and that they still use the first-round pick on him. That the first-round pick thing makes no fucking sense, and I will stand by that.
Yeah.
But someone with like Dak Prescott, who I know has talent, and Amari Cooper, who I know has talent, and also to add to the group of for the Cowboys, I do think that their defense played well on Monday and has been playing well all season. So I do have faith in that unit as well. But Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, 2 disappointing prospects the last 2 years. I would be curious to see what they do under another coaching staff. Because I think that's the core of the Cowboys' problems more than anything, is the coaching. And it's going to take Jerry Jones to swallow his pride for 1 fucking second and just be like, I think it's time to move on. And they need to get an innovative coach that we see at the college ranks, and either that are similar to one of a college mind, and bring them up, because at this point that's the direction that the NFL is going. Is going with mostly younger, but just innovative coaches that are not going to stick to the old status quo, that are not going to deal with old school football, that they're going to be creative in their playmaking. And Jason Garrett is, and Scott Linehan, who has not done a good job either. They're just so boring. It's such a boring play calling. It's such boring design. Everything about the Cowboys is just boring, and I thought they would turn around.
They're the team that like always chooses to play in the white uniforms, right?
Essentially, yeah.
When they can.
Yeah, I mean the white.
Yeah. awesome.
The white uniforms are it's as vanilla as it gets. The white uniforms. No,
exactly.
well, I mean the white uniforms have been their home jerseys for a long time, so it's not necessarily that it's their road jerseys that they keep on wearing, but still, regardless, that's I think what the core of the Cowboys' problems are. But I 100% agree with you. They're a big disappointment this year. I don't see them doing much this year still because they have a really, really tough schedule ahead. And, they got the Eagles, they got the Falcons in the coming weeks. And not only that, they have the Saints soon. And that Saints team just signed Des Bryant. So, good luck with that, Cowboys fans, to have to watch Des Bryant in another uniform against your former team in Dallas. That'll be fun. But yeah, I'm not I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys either, so I'm with you on that. I think my most disappointing team is one that I really want to just take in as a whole, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. This team, I had very high expectations going into the season. I thought with the additions at wide receiver that they had, because Joe Flacco has needed a weapon for so long, and the defense that's always been dominant, it has been a very consistently great unit for this team. They've had a tough stretch. They've played the Saints, the Panthers, and the Steelers, and of course the Saints game was a little infamous because of the Justin Tucker missed kick that could have been an overtime game where they won, but we'll never know. But that losing 3 in a row like that it's devastating. You're now 4-5, and you have a very difficult schedule still ahead, and I would be very surprised if this franchise makes it to the playoffs at this point. And to me, that's a big disappointment because I would have liked to see the tides change in the AFC North. And it does not feel like it's going to be, at least it's not going to be the Ravens. I mean, the Bengals maybe, but they also have a difficult schedule.
Bengals are in a similar situation.
I am saddened for John Harbaugh, who I think is a great coach, and if this is his last year with the Ravens, I think he's gonna find a very quick spot. I still have faith in him as a head coach, but that's obviously up to how how the Ravens feel near the end, if they feel like there's been way too many seasons without the playoffs at this point since their Super Bowl run. Or I'm sorry, they went in 2014. My mistake. And I Joe Flacco, I'm certain he's done after this year. At least in Baltimore, I don't know where he would go after that. Barring some sort of keeping his contract there, and unless you really don't think Lamar Jackson's ready, then that's another story.
Yeah.
But just a big old disappointment.
Well, they're thinking about starting him on giving him a couple series of his own.
I think that they should do it. I don't see why not. I mean, because I'm sure they don't want to give up on the season just yet because they're only just 4-5. But if it really gets to get late for them early, why not get him a start? Just get him in there, and just see what you have. And if he falls apart, like if he Petermans it up, then I guess stick with Flacco, but I don't know. Flacco has not been playing well, and the running game has also been a big old disaster as well. That has not lived up to expectations at all this year. So it's been rough. It's a big old feels bad for the Baltimore area for sure. And that is week 10. Put it in the books. Let's talk midseason predictions.
Oh boy.
This has been a show that we were initially planning last week, but then we realized this is more of the halfway mark. So we moved it to this week, and this is the moment that's really important, I think, to both of us, because we like the idea of picking Super Bowl picks, and you have a streak on the line as well.
I do. My streak so far is I've predicted the NFC Super Bowl team midway through the season for the past 3 years in a row, with the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Eagles. 3 years in a row, which is unexpected.
It's also
considering some of the choices that I tend to make.
Well, like, think about it, like, in this context too. I mean, I forget what was happening in 2015 when you picked the Panthers, because I know that
I was just like super big on the Panthers because they were like, oh, this is a cat-based team that's like undefeated and doing really well. I was like, okay, what if we have a cat bowl? Panthers, Bengals.
That's where it all started, really.
But
then Falcons, I mean, I don't think they were even considered the best NFC team, and you picked them.
No, because the Cowboys were. Yeah, everyone was like, oh, it's going to be like the Cowboys, Packers kind of thing. I was like, no, Falcons.
Yeah.
Sticking to my guns. This team's going to be good. A hyper offense. Matt Ryan, sweet.
Yeah. The Eagles, I think, was I forget what was happening in the halfway point of last year. If I know
the thing that solidified the Eagles for me was the Jay Ajayi trade.
That's right. I forgot about that. I think that I think there was still some hesitancy with the Eagles last year about like how like insanely good they were going to be, because I know the Vikings had a good stretch as well. We're beginning to build momentum there as well. So I forget where it was at, but hey, you got it right, and especially it looked bleak at the end of December, and lo and behold, they still make the Super Bowl and they win it.
Disclaimer: the Eagles were not my Super Bowl pick at the start of the playoffs.
That's true. You did Rams Chiefs,
but my mid-season pick is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is the mid-season is where it's at, man. All right.
The mid-season pick is the more important.
because it's early on, and you want to see how accurate you could get it. I'm gonna give you the floor then. Talk to me about the playoffs and lead me to your Super Bowl pick.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start with the AFC since the NFC is more important to me. So for the AFC, and this is the seed order, I have the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Steelers as the division winners. With wildcard teams, number 5 Chargers, and number 6 Titans.
Okay, good. I like it.
I like if Titans continue to do what they showed Monday night. I think that they have a good chance of making the playoffs. I'm sorry, Jaguars. You need to be better.
Prove it to us.
You need to be better.
Win back our hearts.
Fucking prove it, please. I want to believe. So yeah, Patriots and Chiefs, I'm pretty sure are going to end the season with the same record, and since the Patriots beat the Chiefs, not much I can do about that.
Fair enough.
So Patriots, Chiefs 1-2. Texans are on a roll. I think they're going to keep that roll going. Like just a huge number of wins, especially since they have the easiest strength of schedule in the league. So I think that's a no-brainer, number 3. And then number 4, Steelers, because I don't know if the Bengals or the Ravens have the cojones to knock them over.
Not yet.
So, and the Steelers have been showing good, and I shouldn't count the Steelers out. We haven't even talked about Lev Bell stuff yet, but he doesn't seem to want to. I think
this will be officially. You know what? I'm going to mark it right now. Le'Veon Bell. We're not going to talk about him probably for the rest of the year. I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that would mean the Texans and Titans face each other, and Steelers and Chargers face each other first round.
Yes, that would be correct.
I'm going to say Texans win, move on, and the Chargers win and move on. So that would make the Texans face the Chiefs, in which the Chiefs win, and the Patriots face the Chargers, in which the Chargers win. AFC West battle for the AFC Championship with The Kansas City Chiefs moving on to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so the Chiefs are your AFC pick.
Yeah, see, like this, the AFC was. I think the AFC was harder for me because you have, and this is true for both sides, both divisions, where you have these like juggernaut teams that like are almost no brainers for the Super Bowl, like the Rams and Saints on the NFC side, the Chiefs and Patriots on the AFC side. But then you have these that have been good like all season so far. But then you have these teams that have like really started to prove themselves lately, and have like really proved themselves. That like the Chargers, the Texans, the kind of the Steelers, the Panthers, even the Falcons.
Yeah, for sure.
Like these teams that like are not out of it yet. They didn't start like with 1 or 2 losses. They didn't start the season with less than 2 losses, but they're still a good team.
Right.
And they're starting to become better teams. So that's what makes it hard for me. I'm doing the I'm not being super risky in my Super Bowl picks this year.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year that the Chiefs finally figure out how to win in the postseason.
Okay. Yeah. That's hey, all good. I will. Yep. I'm here for it. So all right. So now it's the big one. Now, let's think of the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. It's like all the hot seat. The lights are on you. It's dark all around you. Pick your NFC. Let's do it.
All right, phone a friend.
Well, here's your options.
No. I have limited options for that. Okay. So for the NFC, imagine last year's playoff picture. It's exactly the same. Except take the Vikings out.
Okay.
Slip Chicago in. Rearrange the seats a bit. Number 1, Saints. Number 2, Rams. Number 3, Bears. Number 4, Eagles. Number 5, Panthers. Number 6, Falcons. Falcons will find a way to become a successful team again. Panthers are doing good. They're not going to catch up to the Saints by any stretch of the word. Yeah. But any stretch of the phrase. I don't know what I'm saying. I had the Bears over the Eagles just because the Eagles have been like struggling a bit more lately. Bears have a little bit of an easier schedule, so that's why I have them. Okay. So that would mean Bears, Falcons, and then Eagles, Panthers. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Bears win
over the Falcons.
Over the Falcons. Bears win. Panthers win. Rams beat the Bears. Saints beat the Panthers. And the New Orleans Saints advance to the Super Bowl.
Very nice.
So my Super Bowl prediction is Saints Chiefs.
I like it.
A couple reasons. I started the season prediction for me was Rams, and I still really like the Rams, and I would not be upset if the Rams made the Super Bowl. But seeing the Saints and Rams together, showing that like the Rams, who have a great, really good defense, could still be picked apart by an offense, has that like weakness to them that the Saints found a way to exploit.
For sure.
Now the Saints have this one man who has 2 first names, named Michael Thomas, who is like, he is insane talent.
For sure. Absolutely.
Even when he's the only wide receiver on the team. Usually when there's like one really good wide receiver, not much else below him, teams can double team. They can double team him, and they can like shut him down and make it harder for him to catch things. But then today they signed Des Bryant. And Des Bryant isn't going to be as good as Des Bryant has been in the past because he hasn't played all season. But just knowing that he's going to be there and knowing that Des Bryant can still, like once he gets in shape, make those catches and make those big plays. And with all the diversity they have in, like, at the quarterback position with Breeze and Hill, like, to do weird things. Like, the Saints have so much going for them. They're going to be marching in Yeah. I'm going with Saints. Saints Chiefs. Okay. Get Drew Brees a third Super Bowl.
Right? So are you gonna predict the Saints as a win?
I'm also gonna predict the Saints win.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Like, do who wins this matchup? I like it though. I think it's totally a fair prediction at this point. I think that it's gonna be. You look at the 4 right now, and it seems like it's gonna lean in that direction. So I like it. But I like that you didn't do Rams Chiefs because we saw Rams Chiefs. We're gonna see Rams Chiefs in Mexico. I'm sure people would love that game, but we'll get something a little bit different in the Super Bowl. I like it. All right. So I guess it's my turn now. NFC. We're gonna start.
Sure
it sure is. It's no one else's turn but mine. In the NFC, we're gonna start there. You and I, we were very close, I think, with our playoff predictions overall in terms of the teams. There is one slight difference with, I think, both conferences for each other, so I'll break it down. I also have the Rams and Saints as the top 2 seeds, although I have the Rams at number 1 and the Saints at number 2. I think the Rams have an easier schedule down the stretch. The Saints might have a few hiccups, especially playing the Panthers twice. Think that that's why they're going to be number 2, but I think both will have good ends to their seasons. I think number 3 is going to be the Eagles. I think this acquisition of Golden Tate is going to go a long way for them, and I think that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think they're going to go a long way. I do. I feel like their defense is getting back on track as well. I have a lot of faith in the Eagles. I think that they're going to still be. It's gonna be a moment for me to really be like they could absolutely repeat, but I think that they're gonna be the class of the NFC East because right now every other team is falling apart. So I'm gonna do third seed there, and the 4th seed is the one different team that I have here, and it's the Vikings. I put the Vikings in at the 4 seed for now. I think that they're gonna end up having the advantage right now over the Bears. But don't worry your heart because I have 2 of your favorite teams as your wild cards: the Carolina Panthers at 5 and the Chicago Bears at 6. I think the Panthers are probably going to be the 3rd best NFC team in the playoffs, and I think the Bears are going to have a good stretch. I think that once they get through some tough divisional matchups, in the early parts of their end game here. They have a kind of easy schedule that I think that it's going to really help them. And plus, they're just a good team. Khalil Mack is going to be back, and he's going to be a wrecking crew for the Bears. So they'll be back. And so then how does that playoffs turn out? All right, you know what? I'll mix. I'm going to mix in my AFC predictions right now as well. I'm going to do Chiefs, Patriots. Once again, I'm going to flip. I'm going to say the Chiefs end up being the 1st seed, Patriots 2nd seed. Then the Steelers and Texans are going to flip. I think the Steelers are going to be the 3rd seed, and Texans are going to be the 4th seed. I think the only reason I have it like that is because I think that ultimately, I think the AFC South will be harder to win for the Texans than the AFC North is for the Steelers at this point. Then the 5th seed is going to be the Chargers. And then my 6th seed, the other team of the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh.
I'm doing it. Look, I'm pulling it out. I really want this Colts team to do well. I really think that this is the one team that no one's talking about right now, and that they're going to start building that resume, and they're going to start. I think they could start as early as this week and be a Jaguars team that kind of tortured them last year, and that I think that they could start building some wins in the division. I don't think they have a really tough opponent left that they can't match up with personally, but we'll see. I think their defense is good. I think Andrew Luck has been phenomenal once again this year, and it's more than just T.Y. Hilton. The tight ends are doing well for the Colts as well. The play calling has just been phenomenal by Frank Reich. I'm very high on the Colts. With that being said, they're losing in the 1st round to the Steelers, so there you go. So the Steelers are going to win in the 1st round as well in the 1st round. Chargers will be beating the Texans. Panthers will beat the Vikings. And, Eagles will beat the Bears.
Understandable.
Will beat the Bears. And so, fun matchups here. I'm gonna do Rams over Panthers. I'm gonna do Patriots over Steelers. I'm gonna do Saints over Eagles.
Yes.
And I believe for the first time in a long time, the Chargers will beat the Chiefs.
Okay, I'm kind of into that.
All right. And so then we come to Sunday, the Sunday championship, the championship Sunday, in Los Angeles and in New England. So first, we'll talk about the NFC game because that's gonna be the first game of that Sunday. The Rams are gonna be in Los Angeles. It's gonna be a huge playoff game in Los Angeles, and everyone's gonna be saying that, well, the Saints they could have gotten this number one seed. They could have been home field advantage, and they could be in the dome right now. But no, instead they have to go outside. They have to go into LA, and they have to face the Rams on their turf. Well, guess what? The LA turf is not there yet, and so I say the Saints beat the Rams in LA, and they move on to the Super Bowl. But what about?
Okay, so same NFC side.
That's so same NFC side, but it's gonna be different no matter what on the AFC side.
Yeah.
When I know if this happens, if the Chiefs lose on the divisional weekend and the Patriots are hosting the AFC Championship game, I'd be losing my mind. I'm gonna be like, fuck the Patriots, they're gonna get it again. They're gonna go in, they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. I'm always gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, fuck this, I'm so angry right now. But
at least you're calling it right now. It's important. Like, the first step of having a problem is to recognize it.
But this is different from my picks. I have the power to deal the death blow to the Patriots right here. And so I'm gonna do it. The Chargers are a better team than the Patriots, and they're gonna win in Foxborough. They're gonna beat them.
I would love that.
Okay?
So
and now you have the battle of Drew Brees versus his former team in Atlanta. It's the Los Angeles Chargers against the New Orleans Saints. And now I'm going to spoil my award predictions here. Drew Brees is coming off of winning the MVP at the end of this season. And he has the MVP, he has the Super Bowl ring. And it's in Atlanta, it's going to be in his favor. But I think the Chargers find a way to win Super Bowl 53. They are the champions, and it's going to be the first ring for Phillip Rivers. He's the one that deserves it more, I think, than Ben, than Eli. He's the one quarterback that has not gotten a ring in that draft class. He deserves one. This is his opportunity right here. They just defy expectations after playing 21 road games, and they win it all.
The Chargers would be the ultimate team chaos. I applaud you. I don't have the balls.
Well, I like having fun
but...
with these Super Bowl predictions because I don't really hold myself too accountable for these.
If I break my streak, I will probably start having more fun.
Fair enough.
But for now, like, this is kind of impressive. So.
Well, I mean, look, and you have what you do. I am doing you a favor though. I am also picking the Saints, so it's if my scenario works out, your NFC streak is still alive at that point.
Yeah.
So you're good. I think about the Chargers right now, and I think that they're just as talented as this Chiefs team. It took them a while, and I think that I don't know if they're going to beat them in the regular season, but I think in the biggest moment, I think the Chiefs have shown time and time again that at home in the playoffs that they are not great and that they blow it in the biggest spots. Even though Patrick Mahomes is a phenomenal quarterback, if the usual holds for the Chiefs, they'll lose to the Chargers, and then I think the Patriots I think it would be. I think it would just be fun to see the Patriots lose in Foxborough to the Chargers. It would be just interesting. So I'm here for that. But I love both predictions. I agree with. I'm absolutely with the Saints on this one. I think that they are a little bit more talented than the Rams right now, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be a very close battle, and I'm excited for the rest of the season. Let's do awards real quick. I already said my MVP would be Drew Brees. What about you?
I went with someone else. I'm gonna keep my start of the year MVP prediction and go with Todd Gurley the second.
There you go. Perfect.
He's still been playing great, and on one of the best offenses in the league. The running back is the center point, so that's just very telling.
For sure. I'm with you on that. What about Offensive Player of the Year?
Offensive Player of the Year, I'm gonna do something different because I think it's good to switch it up. This is where I'm gonna put Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because especially for a first-year starter, he's playing out of his goddamn mind.
For sure. Yeah, I went with this is where I put Todd Gurley as well. I
was debating switching.
Yeah, not shutting down Pat Mahomes or anything. I really like the way that both of these guys have been playing, and I feel like Drew Brees has been wanting an MVP for so long, and he deserves one. But I like it. Todd Gurley, Pat Mahomes for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive
Player of the Year, I gotta go with my boy Khalil Mack.
There you
go. I know that like having 2 games out will probably hurt him, but he's just he's so good.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go J.J. Watt as my Defensive Player of the Year. Right. I think he's having a renaissance of a season. He's been one of the main reasons that they keep on winning games. And he's just been dominant. I wanted to go Aaron Donald, but then it would just be a repeat of the offensive player defensive player mix from last year, and I was just like, I'll change it up a bit to J.J. Watt. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm gonna go with a little bit of an outside one, and this may be from personal experience, but Calvin Ridley. Because like especially if he's going to be one of the keys, I think, in making a playoff push for the Falcons, because he has been playing insanely well, has gotten like the really long passes when they really need them. So I'm gonna go with Calvin Ridley for that. A little bit more obscure, but
yeah. It's this one was tough. I think that there's still hype. That I think Calvin Ridley is a great choice. I think there's still hype for Saquon Barkley right now with the way that he's playing, despite how bad the rest of his team has been playing. I'm gonna go with him. It's the only thing that will give me any life as a Giants fan. So there you go. Defensive Rookie.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna go with Dante Jackson off of the Panthers.
Ooh. So talk to me about that a little bit.
Okay. So Dante Jackson has been playing really well. I follow a lot of Panthers social media, obviously. Really great cornerback who has been like helping their secondary like become better. Matching up with like Deshaun Jackson extremely well when they played. Has had 4 interceptions this season.
Yeah,
like
he's in the mix,
and he's just getting started.
Yeah.
So.
I ended up. I think this is different from my initial pick. I go Derwin James of the Chargers. He's one of the main reasons the secondary has played as well as it has been. I just really like the way that he's been playing. He keeps on just making these spectacular plays, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna go with him on that front.
All right.
What's next? Comeback player.
Comeback player of the year is going to be the same one that I named at the start of the year with Deshaun Watson. Part of that is him coming back from his ACL tear injury, and literally the Texans have been coming back this year.
Yeah, he's playing well, and I think it was a tight game down the stretch. They got lucky on Sunday's game, but he is playing well. He's not really been their major issue, and the thing is that the Texans are using his skill set well, unlike other coaching staffs that don't use their quarterbacks well. So I think that he's playing very well. I like him a lot for comeback. I'm gonna go with the guy that's missed, or at least what feels like he's missed like 5 years, but it's really only been a year, and it's been Andrew Luck, and he's just having a spectacular season. I think that many people thought his career was going to be over last year, and because that he just was not getting back on the field, and he was having a lot of issues, and he's proven the world wrong. So I'm going with Luck on this one. And coach of the year.
I really wasn't sure who to do for this one. I ended up just saying Sean McVay again. Yeah. Because he's a really good coach.
Sean McVay should win, and I would pick him as well. I wanted to defer a little bit. I went with Andy Reid though. I just the other coach that is playing with just with a quarterback that's playing spectacularly good offensive unit, but having such a bad defense and still winning football games, like it's impressive. So I would go with Reid on that front. And last but not least, before we get to our picks, we got some bold predictions.
We do.
Would you like? You want me to start? Okay.
Start.
My first bold prediction I have. Patrick Mahomes will break Peyton Manning's single-season touchdown mark, which I believe is at 55 at this point.
Shit.
And I think he's at like 29-ish. So he still needs a good amount of touchdowns, but I think he'll do it. I think that he's played that well enough where he could pull it out of the hat there. What about you? Do you have one?
This is going to be a really dumb one. The Dolphins will finish the season above 500.
Oh, shit. You know what? That is a bold prediction. God, it's amazing to me how they stay afloat.
Literally out of pure luck.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but over 500.
No.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
No, but well, okay. Let's say 8-8 or 9-7. One of those two records.
Fair enough.
Or 8-7-1.
Yeah. Fair enough. I just
one of those.
Yeah, the Dolphins. They're weird. They're a weird team. My next one: Lamar Jackson will start a game by week 15.
Okay.
I think that. I mean that might be a little early for the Ravens, but I think you gotta do it, and I think that I think that at some point they just gotta give him more snaps. Let him play full games. I mean, come on. Just give him the opportunity. I think he'll start week 15. At least.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to say that... Shit.
Do you want me to go one more real quick?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do one that would maybe make you happy. So I'm going to go, the Bears will record 3 more shutouts the rest of the season.
Oh, against
3 shutouts. Make your pick. It could be, I think the Giants will be one. The Niners could be one.
Okay, Giants.
But then you have to do another one, and it could be Lions.
Yeah. You said Giants.
Niners, they still have to play.
Niners and the Lions. Okay, yeah. I'll go with that.
All right.
I'm gonna go with really don't know. I'll try to think of
All right.
one.
Well, you know what? If it works out, we can do the picks, and you will be due to bold predictions by the end of the podcast. How's that? Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
By the way, yeah, and also fantasy advice you're also due for at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Or whenever, it's up to you. So.
All right, I'll do one fantasy bold prediction.
Go ahead. That you know what? I'll put that as an actual bold prediction for you.
Okay. All right. Tyler Boyd will have a better, more points at the end of the season than AJ Green.
I was like, I didn't know that you would do it.
Of course, it was Tyler Boyd.
I didn't know that you would do it, and then you did it. So there you go. And okay, so then another fantasy one. I feel like these would be easier for you then to crack it out.
Yeah. My other one is shit. I don't know.
All right. Well then.
I'm tired.
No, it's okay.
Dion Lewis will be in the top 20 running backs by the end of the season.
Dion Lewis. Okay, I like that.
Dion
I like
Lewis.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our bold predictions. I'm gonna copy and paste. At least my end. I'm gonna save it near the bottom of my new notepad here, and it will be there for shaming at the end of the season. So, and there you go. Also, I am looking at my predictions from earlier this year. Jacksonville Jaguars, number 1 seed of the AFC. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
I mean, one of mine is still potentially possible. I don't think so. I don't think three AFC South teams are making it.
Yeah,
the away teams is out the window.
Yeah.
Patriots will not make the AFC Championship. Still up for grabs.
I said Patriots will have AFC East clinched by week 11. I doubt that's going to happen because the Dolphins are ruining it. I said that Joe Flacco has similar year to 2017 Alex Smith, and that's not going according to plan. But if he does get traded to a team in Florida, I'll at least take partial credit for that.
Yeah.
And then Buccaneers won't finish last in the NFC, so we'll see. All right, it is time for our predictions for this week. We're gonna shorten out the predictions now. Let's first of all, I'll give credit where credit is due. 11-2, go Cubs! Congratulations on the great week.
Thank
that
you.
Is a great week. I
was really impressed.
It's been a while since I know, like, I think 2015, it must have been 2015, 2016. I had 1 week that was like perfect, but I've yet to achieve that. I feel like at the rate that you're going, I feel like at least one of us at some point will get that perfect week. I'm hoping it happens soon.
Yeah.
But 11-2, absolutely excellent. And unfortunately, I went 9-4. So right now, as the standings sit, you are 80-52 with 2 extra points, sitting at 34. I am 78-54. I am no longer in the negatives. I'm back at 0 in terms of the qualifier.
Hey.
And I am sitting at 24. So a 10-point difference right now. Now it seems substantial that I can close the gap. I will see how that goes as well. And we're still undefeated in our Rams picks. 9-0. Very good job.
Excellent.
And now there are 2 teams, each of us, that have to achieve better picking records against. Okay? For mine, it's the fucking Titans. Okay? It's 2-6. It's rough, bad day for me. For you, the 2-6 picking the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is the hump they have to overcome this week. So let us start with what's gonna probably be the best game of the week. The Panthers head to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers are leading the AFC North right now, but the Panthers are looking like the 3rd best team in the NFC. A great interconference battle. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
this is going to be a chance for the Panthers to show if they're as good on the road as they are at home. A lot of momentum building up for them. They're going to carry it. Go Panthers.
I'm going Panthers as well. I think that they're a better team right now. If the Steelers really want to gain my trust right now, they win this game, but they beat the Panthers. But I have faith in the Panthers. I've gained that faith finally. It's time. Panthers in this one. Next up, the Chicago Bears are hosting a big game against the Detroit Lions, a division game. This is a big game for them because the more steps that you make in winning a division, the better chances that you'll have in winning that division. What's going to happen in this one?
The Bears are going to win a division game, which is a really rare occasion. Yeah.
I gotta go Bears, and it's just the fact that the Lions are Tater Waite's Golden Tate.
Lackluster.
Yeah, now you're lackluster. It was the Vikings set a franchise record for sacks, 10 sacks I think, or 11 sacks in that fucking game against the Lions. Incredible. The Bears could.
And now the Bears get clear.
Yeah, so good luck with that, Lions. Next up, the New Orleans Saints go to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals are coming off a bye, sitting at 5-3, but the Saints coming off an amazing win against the Rams. What will happen in this one?
I hope the Bengals play like a little bit better, but it's the Saints, who I just said would win the Super Bowl. So
gotta go on.
Let's go Saints.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Saints as well. I think that the Bengals they need to recapture my trust a bit because they almost blew it against the Buccaneers 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna go Saints here. I just think the better team right now.
The Fitz magic.
That's true. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Atlanta Falcons are going to the Cleveland Browns to take on or to go to Cleveland to take on the Browns rather. And oh boy, what's gonna happen in this one?
Atlanta's gonna do Atlanta things and win the game.
Yeah, Atlanta's getting back on track, and they're doing so now with a pretty easy win, I would say. So Falcons in this one. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Jaguars are in disarray. I keep on praising the Colts. So what do you think's gonna happen in this one, Go Cubs?
This is gonna be a weird one. This will probably be like the last chance the Jaguars have for me. I'm gonna go with them in this one, and hope that the bye has refreshed them.
I am going. This is a big test for the Colts because they're two on 2-game winning streak, but those 2 wins were against the Raiders and the Bills. This is a big game for them to win. I think they do it. I just think the talent is not there for Jacksonville right now, which is the exact opposite of what we were saying earlier this year. The defense is not playing up to par. The offense is not playing up to par. I don't know if they have Larry Fournette this week. I'm going Colts.
They may.
The Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Arizona Cardinals. What's happening in this one?
In a 99% user consensus rating on NFL Pick'em, which is the highest that I've ever seen. The Chiefs, if there was such thing as a super lock, I would use it here, or a super guarantee. I'm not using my guarantee because it's too easy, but Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs as well. I'm feeling the good old Kansas City vibes that it's in Kansas City too. Like there's just so much working against the Cardinals in this game. So I'm going Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills are going to New York to take on the Jets, and here's the thing with this game. There's a few notes I need to point out. We do not know
Yes.
if Derek Anderson is going to start for this game because he's still on the concussion protocol. If not, I would suspect Nathan Peterman starts or Matt Barkley starts. On the other side, Sam Darnold is not playing in this game. He is injured. And so Josh McCown is back in our lives. What's going to happen in this game?
Oh, shit. Josh McCown is back. That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Jets. I mean, I already had the Jets. But
feel a little bit better.
Josh McCown makes it better.
Yeah. I like the Jets in this one, too. I'm going to go with them. It's an ugly game. Next up, the Redskins at the Buccaneers. Fitzmagic is back. He is going to try to roll, but the Redskins, well, they still have a winning record. Where you got to go,
Can I team chaos against the same team 2 weeks in a row?
Against the Buccaneers?
Against the Redskins.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Fitzmagic, team chaos.
Well, I'm glad I put you in that trap because I'm also team chaosing the Buccaneers. Hey. So we are at least on the same page there. The reason I'm doing this, revenge. Revenge is a bitch, Redskins. You let me down. I'm coming for you now. Next up, the Patriots are going to be going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Titans coming off a really nice win against the Cowboys, but the Patriots currently getting that November groove on. What's going to happen with them?
Yeah, like, I want the Titans to do well, but it's the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe the Titans have a hot streak in this Deion Lewis / Malcolm Butler revenge game. Something could happen. I don't think it's going to. It's New England.
It's a fun revenge game, but then you realize that once the revenge game contains the Patriots, it no longer becomes fun. Because it's like, where it's going to go. I'm going Patriots in this one. The Raiders are going to be hosting the Los Angeles Chargers, and this is not what you want to see. I mean, you know what? No, this is probably exactly what you want to see, Raiders.
This is exactly what I want to see.
Maybe with the strategy the Raiders have, I think this is exactly who they want to see come into their stadium right now.
I want to read off a stat list. Or I want to read off a tweet of stats that will serve as my answer. Phillip Rivers has a 19-3 touchdown to interception ratio this year. The Raiders defense has a 19-4 touchdown to interception ratio this year. Meaning, Phillip Rivers will throw 19 touchdown passes in this game. That's not what those numbers mean.
Fair enough.
But
Chargers. Next up, the Miami Dolphins are going to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers are coming off of a tough loss against New England. Dolphins are coming off a gritty win over the Jets. What's going to happen in this one?
I have to say the Packers. It's weird that the Dolphins are above 500. Mm-hmm. Packers are below 500, and yet Packers are just so much more clearly the better team.
I agree with you.
This far into the season, like if it was like 2-1 versus 1-2, but it's week 10. Mm-hmm. Get it together, Green Bay. Actually, don't continue sucking, but you're not going to suck against the Dolphins. Packers are going to win.
It would stun me if Brock Osweiler wins this game. I would be so mad.
Yeah.
It's
wake me up when Brocktober ends.
This was a tempting guarantee for me. I can't. I don't think I can. You know what? No, fuck you. I'm going for guarantee Packers.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm guaranteeing the Packers because I was like, I was thinking about a later game, but I was like, you know what? No. I feel so confident that I'm guaranteeing that the Packers take down Brocktober. Give me a break. Anyways, the Rams are going to be hosting the Seahawks in LA this time. It was a tough battle the first time in Seattle. Will it continue being a tough battle in LA?
Yeah, probably. home field advantage is probably going to help the Rams a little bit. Rams want to reprove themselves after their loss to the Saints. I think Rams have this.
I think the Rams have it as well. I like what they're doing still. I mean, they just gotta hope that their defense hasn't like completely like lost their pride and they let the Seahawks run wild. But I still have faith. I'm gonna go Rams on this one. Next up, the Cowboys at Eagles. Of course, NFC East gets put in prime time because fucking we can't have quality football games because we always have to have NFC East games in prime time. It's great.
Right. And why would you not want to see the former Super Bowl champions play the
America's team? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
I'm going to guarantee that Philadelphia wins.
That was my guarantee too. We almost had the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an easy guarantee at this point.
I'm watching. Speaking of that, I'm watching the season finale of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as soon as it's possible.
Oh, there's your recommendation right there. Yeah. No, I'm not even. I don't know if I'm excited to watch this game or not, but at this point now I just want to see the Cowboys burn after what they did to me again.
Yeah.
I want. They will go down for what they did. They betrayed me last week.
Do you think, Chris? Do they call them the boys because the boys is the second part of Cowboys?
I mean, I think so.
Is that why they call them the boys?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what that was. All right. Anyways, Monday Night Football. Oh Jesus! Speaking of games, Giants at the Niners.
Why'd we let two 49ers games in primetime 2 weeks in a row?
There was a lot of Jimmy G hype, and that died in week 3 because
and Kyle Shanahan hype.
And Kyle Shanahan hype. Well, he's still there at least. Yeah. And he's going up against the Giants team that is coming off of bye, I believe. I'm forgetting what's happening with the Giants at this point. I've lost them. What do you got in this game?
Oh, Nick Mullens. How could you not?
Absolutely, I love it. I'm going Niners. It's gonna be the battle of Nick Mullens versus Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham. I think that if this Giants are gonna win any game, it's gonna be this game. I just refuse to pick them. I can't do it right now. I like the Niners. I like the coaching staff. I like the coaching staff of the Niners. I like the Nick Mullens story. I'd like to see that continue. So, I will go on that front. So only one defer, and it's Jaguars at Colts. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
This is now. I feel like so much is at stake.
So much is at stake for that
one game. I know. I mean,
in terms of whether I'm 3 games ahead or I'm 1 game ahead.
Yeah. I need to pull in right now. I need to pull within. The Packers need to pull through for me. Jesus. Wait, say that again. Nothing. No, I know. Say it again.
We're starting to merge minds into the same.
Yeah,
person. That's why all of our picks are like.
Yeah,
the same now.
Fair enough. It was. Yeah, we almost had the same guarantee too. The last minute, I was like, I will take any advantage to any chance to guarantee against the fucking Dolphins, and with Aaron Rodgers back, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with it. I like it. All right, so good podcast. I think we did a good job after a long one. This will be probably our longest of the year before, I guess, week 17, where we like recap every season before the wild card.
Every football season.
Every team rather. But yeah, pretty good, and I'm looking forward to this week. We got some duds in prime time, I think, but I think that you're gonna see some fun games this week. I think the early portion of Sunday, and I think Thursday Night Football specifically, is also going to be very, very good. And I'm looking forward to that. And Seahawks Rams, I think, will be a good game as well. I think the Rams will still pull through, but the other two, I'm like, ugh. But anyways, anything else that you'd like to close out on? Any additional fantasy advice, recommendations, anything?
Fantasy advice. Sign this guy named Elijah McGuire.
Okay.
I drafted him.
Yes.
When he was injured.
Yep.
Because, there was a lot of hype about him. The Jets' backfield isn't that great. Unfortunately injured during the preseason, but he's got some. Let's just say one of the most comparable players to him from the NFL Combine is this guy named Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you can get him now before anyone knows who the fuck he is, it'll be pretty good. He's going to have some opportunity. He outsnapped Crowell this past week, and could be seeing some use spike up.
Yeah, big thing with Elijah McGuire. I was definitely hyping him going into the season. It sucked that as I was really starting to hype him, he fucking gets put on injured reserve, or at least he goes down with an injury. But I felt like he was going to be the top back of the Jets, and it's starting to seem like they're going in that direction. He looked so good in his first year last year, and I like him. So I'm Chris. I am a Giants/Jets fan, and I approve this message. But all right, and I think that's it for me as well. So we will see you guys next week when we recap Week 11. Oh man, and after that, it's gonna be the Thanksgiving pod. Fuck man, it is all coming up.
Oh,
quickly.
Love
next pod, we're predicting Rams Chiefs. How's that?
Oh no!
Hell yeah, man!
Oh no!
Hell yeah! That's how quickly things have come up. I love it.
The pressure.
The cheat. By the way, I more than anything this week, I don't even care if the Chiefs and Rams somehow lose. Don't get injured, please. I'm begging you, don't go down with an injury. We need you all healthy for this juggernaut of a game, please. Yes. I beg. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Be good to one another. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.